Don't be sad, horse friend. Gordon will come home soon. Ah, this is the life, yes? The sun beating on your shirtless fur, the sweet smell of moon sugar cane wafting through your whiskers. It doesn't get any better than this, Walker. Everything would be perfect if it weren't for those meddling. Adam Nargo prefers to remain positive, so he thinks of it as more of a pest opportunity. Wasps are nesting in his fields, but he can't get rid of them because he's busy consoling his horse over our lost Guar Gordon. This is a very sensitive... He has a name, friend. His name is Gordon the Guar. He ran off, and Adam Nargo has had no luck luring him back. Gordon and the horse are very close. They often spend hours just staring at each other. It's a bit strange, but Adam Nargo doesn't judge. Thanks for your help getting rid of the wasps in the fields and finding my lost Guar. If Adam Nargo's horse wasn't so sad and knew how to talk, he would thank you too. He's sad about Gordon, but he's usually a happy horse. The Imperials brought them during their integration, and we've adapted a few breeds for labor. I think he likes working on the farm, and we like having him around, especially Gordon. Adam Nargo doesn't give them much thought. We've been sharing Rimin with them for a very long time, and we'll probably share it with them for much longer. As long as they leave Adam Nargo alone and don't tell him to put his shirt on, it will be fine. Kill them with fire! Adam Nargo is serious, Walker. He loves his horse, and he's fairly fond of Gordon. But those meddling wasps can burn. Because he looks like a Gordon. I'm sure you'll agree when you see his face.
Did you come to share this lizard with Zanzag? You can have the neck. Maybe a hind leg if you're lucky. Of course! You never met a sense rat before? Or you just never bothered talking to one? Most think we are only good for riding into battle, but we are as intelligent as any Khajiit. Only more likely to eat strangers who ask stupid questions. Everything that moves belongs to Zanzag, especially when he's hungry. Tell Hadam Nargo that if he has a problem with that, Zanzag can eat his precious horse instead. How did you know that Zanzag is uncomfortable eating things with first names? Zanzag will find his dinner somewhere else. Now that you mention it, he does look like a Gordon.
You got rid of the wasps and you found Gordon. Hadam Nargo can't tell you how happy this makes his horse. Did you run into any trouble? Ah, Zanzag. We established this farm together, but things got strange when Hadam Nargo bought his horse. I think he was jealous. But I never felt comfortable riding on something that talked back. Please, accept this gift for everything you...
Ah, yes. The one who approaches... Did the spirit send you to help Kisaravi? What did... My apologies. Kisaravi hoped you heard the spirit too. The spirit protects Akaviri relics in the Tomb of the Serpents. She wants Kisaravi to share their secrets with the world, but the tomb is too dangerous. Spirit may not be correct. Entity, a goddess perhaps. The one who protects the tomb while wrapping her arms around Kisaravi's mind. Will you retrieve the Akaviri relics? Otherwise their secrets will be trapped here forever. Thank you, stranger. Kisaravi hopes you will be the one to pass the spirit's test and retrieve the Akaviri relics. She's sure you won't end up like the others. Years ago, Khajiit allowed displaced Akaviri to bury their dead in Khajiiti tombs. So many Akaviri were buried here that they renamed it Tomb of the Serpents. The Akaviri placed armor and relics alongside their dead. The spirit watches over all. Curiosity, arrogance, greed. Kisaravi wanted to unlock the Akaviri's secrets, to use their knowledge and steal their power, to sell their relics to the highest bidder. Selfish desires brought Kisaravi here, but some say their ancestors were eaten by a race of vampiric serpents. Others say they were merely captured. They are said to be resistant to poison and fierce in battle. Some say they even enslaved dragons. Their relics will tell us what is true. I never saw her, but I felt her. Her words opened something within me, a sense of purpose, belonging, love. I don't remember her words, but I can't forget. Thank you, stranger. Kisaravi hopes you will be the one to pass the spirit's test and retrieve the Akaviri. Preserve our legacy. Destroy the outsider. Only the strong can carry out the mission.
You forget, Elsweyr. Perhaps you will want to deliver our message. Perhaps you will die like the rest. Our story. Die, and you will share our tomb. know the messenger. If you survive, lay down your sword outside. It belongs to the Alcaveri.
anything I can do. Yes?
Live, and you will share our story. Die, and you will share our tomb. Lay down your sword, outsider. You already belong to the Akaveri.
got the Akaviri relics. Did the spirit speak to you? Ah, the Akaviri spirit has blessed you. Kisaravi can tell. How else would you have succeeded where Kisaravi has failed? Kisaravi knew that she would meet someone brave enough to enter the tomb, strong enough to pass the spirit's test, and wise enough to accept her protection and never question her voice. Kisaravi knew because the spirit told her. The spirit wants Kisaravi to share the Akaviri relics with Tamriel. They possess a magic we can't understand, a magic that will spread her influence and protect us all. The spirit will soon live in everyone's minds, and for some, it is the key to unlocking ancient secrets and lost magic. For others, it is a reminder of why some things are better left unknown. The spirit has spent years watching the dead in these tombs.
Blaming Abnorthorn will not end
Ever the
dragon
voice of reason
infestation.
speaking. Ah, here comes someone who can help us now. I was beginning to suspect you were never going to arrive. After Calcevius and my half-sister manipulated us into inadvertently releasing a rage of dragons, Elsweyr has been overrun by the beasts. We do bear some responsibility. So much better than flock or herd, don't you think? The Khajiit Defense Force isn't prepared to deal with a threat as big as dragons, especially since they were fighting to liberate Rimmon when the huge beasts arrived. Stay focused. We'll deal with that later. Right now we must assist the defense force. Rendezvous with us at their command post. On your way, however, I have another task for you. I detected a series of power surges that I want you to investigate. I was formulating a spell to track the dragons when I noticed several surges of arcane energy not far from here. They reminded me of an old acquaintance. Has a way with portals. If it is him, I want you to secure his help against the dragons. Hard to say with certainty, but I don't believe so. They remind me of Sir Cadwell, who somehow opens portals with a power of similar intensity. Check the locations I marked on your map before you make your way to the defense camp. Lord Garesh Ree is the Speaker of the Main and the commander of the Northern Elsweyr Defense Force. His aide, Chimera, serves as both a diplomat and a spy, though she would never call herself that. If you want to know more, feel free to ask them. My half-sister, Euraxia, conquered Rimmon and other parts of northern Elsweyr about 6 years ago. The Khajiiti Defense Force has slowly been taking back their province, but Rimmon is well fortified. And now, because of the dragons, things are worse. A militia drawn from the prides of northern Elsweyr. Garesh Ree, the Speaker of the Main, has taken command during this crisis. With Dominion troops busy fighting the Three Banners War, the Defense Force must deal with the Euraxians and the dragons. Ah yes, of course you do. He does get around. If Cadwell turns out to be the source of the power surges, learn what he's doing out there and ask if he will aid us against the dragons.
I suppose it is good to see you again, Walker. Someone must help Tharn clean up the mess he created at the Halls of Colossus. Come to think of it, you share some of the blame, yes? Do not mind me. Rampaging dragons put me in a foul mood. Trouble? More like flying disasters. Caravans devastated, livestock consumed, villages set aflame. It is more than the Northern Elsweyr Defense Force can handle. As much as I hate to admit it, we need Tharn's help. And yours as well, Walker. Damn Abner Tharn for translating the Wrathstone and finding that ancient ruin. He went in search of a weapon to end the Three Banners War. A weapon I told him was too dangerous, remember? And instead wound up releasing the dragons. Talk to Abner Tharn.
You're the adventurer who helped Abner Tharn and Chimera at the halls of Colossus? The battle mage has been waiting for you. But where are my manners? Welcome to Riverhold and the province of Anequina. I am the Speaker of the Main, a position in which I've served faithfully for many years. I represent our spiritual leader, the Main. In addition, I command the Northern Elsweyr Defense Force during this time of trouble. We're dealing with more than just dragons, unfortunately. A few years ago, Abner Tharn's half-sister, Euraxia, conquered Rimmon and parts of Northern Elsweyr. We recently liberated Riverhold, and we're about to do the same for Rimmon when the dragons appeared. It's almost as if they came to do what Abner Tharn asked. Just as he once served as advisor to emperors, he has agreed to help me formulate strategies and tactics for use against the dragons.
Greetings, Walk. A crowded marketplace. A chance meeting. Unexpected, unannounced. And perhaps just the thing this one needs to solve a most curious investigation. Mystic Thunderboots, at your service. An abduction, to be precise. No ransom, no demands, no obvious suspects or motives. Just a heartbroken father and a missing young lady. But that is why Mizik was hired, yes? He steps in when all other justice fails. Correct. This one searches for Xynthia, daughter of Ishu. However, Mizik's inquiries have led to nothing but dead ends. And with the young lady's safety on the line, the sooner this investigation is solved, the better. A chance meeting turned fated partnership. Fortuitous for this one, yes? You should speak to Ishu first. See if he has any new information for us. His house is just south of the marketplace. Can't miss it. Mizik Thunderboots is a Khajiit of action. Well, he does not wish to merely boast of his prowess. This one aims to prove such skill. Just as soon as we have a little more to go on, of course. This one will confess, while Mizik is confident in his skills of investigation, he struggles with the more alarming situations his line of work often entails. Such as when large people threaten him with very sharp daggers. Not this investigation, thank the moons. Well, not yet. That is where your expertise comes along, yes? Your bravery. This one's cunning and a few good leads are all we need to solve this mystery. It is a good name, no? Mizik Thunderboots. When scoundrels hear the footsteps of his boots, they will quake in fear. Oh, well, perhaps you are right. Not very subtle, is it? He is a humble Khajiit of moderate wealth. Seems to keep to himself. No enemies, no debts. No reason why he would be targeted. Yet just a few days ago, his daughter, Xynthia, was taken in the dead of night. Most strange, no? If Mizik did not know better, he would say that it was an intimidation tactic. Perhaps even an act of revenge against Ishu. But who would wish this cruelty against such a kind Khajiit? They outright dismissed Ishu's claim, believing that the young lady has merely run away. A most vexing call, truth be told. From all that Ishu has told this one, Xynthia is a most sweet Khajiit, not one to make her father worry.
We don't have a choice, Izanji.
And what? You expect us to just stroll into an Akabiri crypt? Be reasonable.
Well, if we don't recover those mural pieces, who... Welcome to the House of Histories. You'll find no grander collection of curiosities and memorabilia in all of Elsweyr. I would offer you a tour, but we're currently investigating an ancient mural called the Rithana di Renada, otherwise known as the Song of Kingdoms. It chronicles the time when Elsweyr was 16 united kingdoms working in harmony. Unfortunately, it was shattered when the kingdoms entered into conflict. Yes, into exactly 16 pieces. My brother and I found and restored each and every one. And then, Just as we were about to put all the pieces together again, they were stolen. Who would even... Thank you for offering to help. Oddly enough, the thief did leave a note mentioning a grave of snake men. I suspect it refers to the Tomb of the Serpents, an old Akaviri crypt. Hopefully that is where you will find the missing pieces. The Rithana di Rinala was created during a time of peace between the 16 kingdoms. It represented the unity of the Khajiit people. The peace between the kingdoms did not last. The mural was shattered into 16 pieces, one for each kingdom. No one knows how it was so perfectly broken. Was it the clan leaders? Perhaps punishment from divine spirits? It is all a mystery. Elsweyr faces many dangers now. More than ever, the Khajiit must band together. I hoped that the Rithana di Renada would inspire just that. After all, it represents a time when all Khajiit lived in harmony. Yes, it is. But that clue is all we have at the moment. It actually reminds me of the old Khajiiti legend, Rajin and a Trail of Ink. Perhaps our thief is a fan of the trickster god. Wouldn't be too surprising. He was a renowned thief who possessed the Ring of Khajiiti, which allowed him to be invisible, silent, and quick. He ascended to become an immortal trickster god and patron to thieves. Rajin and the Trail of Ink is but one of his many legends. Many moons ago, when Rajin was still but a thief and not yet a god, he met a beautiful soldier named Captain Nasuna. He was captivated by Nasuna's beauty and skill, but she scorned all of his advances. So, Rajin set out. Nasuna guarded a merchant's estate. 5 times Rajin entered this estate, stealing an item and hiding it elsewhere. He left clues behind for the captain, daring her to recover what he stole. And each time she prevailed, for she was his clever. Rajin was proving himself. By stealing these items, he showed his cunning. By hiding them away, he showed his honor. By leaving clues, he showed his respect. And it worked. Nasuna was won over and agreed to be his lover. As I've said, many thieves wish to emulate the great Rajin. Leaving clues at the scene of the crime is one way to demonstrate their cleverness. Perhaps it is so.
Kill the intruder. Only the strong can carry our message. To deliver our message. Perhaps you will die like the rest.
Not so fast, Walker. Rachin would first have a word with you. So, you have found the first piece of the Rithana di Renata. Impressive. But Rachin can't help but wonder if you have patience enough to find the other 15. After all, he has hidden them very well. This one is the shadow of Rachin. Well, a shadow of Rachin. There are 7 of us, all told. Surely you have heard of Rachin, yes? Elsweyr's greatest thief, whose crimes were so fabulous he became divine. This one is but an avatar of his greatness. Do you expect a truthful answer? What kind of trickster do you take this one for? Here, let us make a deal. If you find all the pieces, each and every one, Rachin will consider sharing his motivations. Only then. Of course, Rachin will provide clues. What fun would it be otherwise? 15 clues to find 15 pieces. Collect them all and restore Rithana di Renata, which was thought just a legend. Sound exciting, Walker? Here then, a book for your convenience. Is not Rachin kind? Ah, and one other thing. Outside help is strictly forbidden. Iraya might have solved this one's first clue, but a trickster, a hero, and an ancient mural. Just the recipe for a grand adventure, no? Ah, but this one is most excited to see it unfold. This one is but a shadow of the great Rachin, trickster god to the Khajiiti people. It was he who gained the power of the Ring of Khajiiti, which made him invisible to all and quick as the wind. He who stole both treasures and hearts alike. Of course! How else was this one supposed to get your attention, Walker? But Rashid says too much. After all, he has already promised to reveal his motivations after you've collected all the mural pieces. Why, you have Rashid's Book of Riddles, do you not? Each verse will let you know where a certain piece of the Rithana di Ranada can be found. Well, this one is feeling rather generous today. Rachin will let you know that every piece lies in northern Elsweyr. The more you explore, the more likely you are to... By the way, if you see Pakruti, tell him he still owes this one a pound of gold.
Greetings, greetings. Were you able to find the missing mural? If you want to pull my tail, you could at least try a bit harder than that. Really, what would Rajin's shadow want with the Rithana de Renada? It might have historical significance, but it's certainly not a prize worthy. Sure. Just let me know if you meet John and Joel next, yes? We could use some brighter moons.
Our neighbors saw nothing, of course. Oh, you found one of the pieces! I see you've collected a missing piece. Slick work. Now, if we only had clues for the other 15 pieces, makes finding them particularly difficult for us. Rajin's shadow? I'll be honest, that's a lot to take in. But after all you've done for us, how can I not offer you the benefit of the doubt? Feel free to place any mural pieces that you find. Think that the Rithana de Renada was snatched away by Rajin's shadow. Never would I have thought that to be the case. Good luck finding the rest. Of course! What would you like to know? Rajin has given you a book of riddles, yes? Each riddle should reveal where a certain piece of the mural can be found. Hopefully they're not too out of the way, though. Knowing trickster gods. Feel free to bring them back here and place them in the murals. Rajin is a trickster god, revered by Khajiiti thieves. He possesses 7 shadows to do his bidding in the mortal realm. Unfortunately, it seems that one of these shadows has taken interest in you. Well, Rajin is known to punish the cruel and reward the cunning. Perhaps he wished to test you for some reason, to see if you're worthy of something.
No, Azazi. Never touch a Daedric monster, especially a dead one.
Don't be such a nervous netch. The dead can't hurt us. But where do you think it came from?
It stinks of Cold Harbor. Perhaps one of the usurper
Don't
queen's
touch
last
the dead thing. They do not, tells me. Like I don't know how to handle a Daedric corpse.
I saw you, traveler. Why do all outsiders insist on acting suspiciously? I watched you go from location to location, just like the man with the pot on his head. Are you one of the soldiers intent on digging up every plot of land? Or are you simply a deviant who enjoys skulking and slinking through the wilderness? Do not play innocent with me, stranger. You must be working with that pale, gaunt fool with the ridiculous mustache. Else would you be visiting the same places that he did? But yes. Are you an agent of the Usurper Queen? Euraxia, the hated Imperial who conquered Rimmon and falsely claimed to be its queen. Do not feign ignorance, outsider. I had just about enough of that when I talked to the man with the pot on his head. You sound as confused as he was. Kept talking to his pet lizard bird like he expected it to answer. The last I saw, he headed east. I suppose you'll find him in that direction, and south of Riverhold. Just stop skulking around.
No good. Greetings, Walker. You are not also going to the abode of ignominy, are you? As its name implies, it is a moonless place full of forgotten. This one saw a stranger setting up camp outside the cave nearby. Local legend says that Mafala worshippers used to lurk there. Raising dead too, I think. To venture so close to such a place. A Khajiit woman. Cathay by the look of her. She wore the attire of a sorcerer. But then I could put on a tin crown and claim that I am an emperor. She stays there heedlessly. Her
Did Caldathir send you? Well, don't even try to stop me. Oh, well then, greetings. My name is Naramako, and I intend to walk right into this spooky cave and find the works of a brilliant Khajiiti mage. Before you ask, yes, it is full of slavering, undead, and yes, I am petrified to the point of weeping. You mean to help? Well, I guess there's no harm in delegating. According to my research, a powerful wizard named Marzulajo used this place as his laboratory. If you find his notes and any memory stones he might have left behind, I would be indebted. Thank you for looking into this, Walker. I can't wait to rub this discovery in that sour-tongued Caldathir's face. It's always be careful with this and don't meddle. According to my research, Marzullo Joe had a great fondness for animals, just like me. He even discovered ways to bring them back to life. At least I think he did. Fuzzy on the details. Anyway, his notes and memory stones should hold the answers. Yes! You're not going to scold me like Caldathyr, are you? It's just a frog. A single hoppy little frog. What harm could that do? Anyway, he's the one who made me kill the poor thing. And for what? A water-breathing potion? I can't even... I mean, sort of. Well, guild regulations clearly state that manipulating white souls, the lesser souls of beasts, is completely fine. True, the bylaws don't explicitly endorse putting little white souls into frog skeletons, but they don't prohibit it either. My high elf alchemy professor, and a heartless, saggy-faced brute. I'm a member of the Mages Guild, you see. To progress, I have to show proficiency in potion making and such. He's a meanie! Every potion we make includes some terrible reagent, like a baby newt or a sweet little toad. I don't even like to hurt fleas, let alone innocent amphibians. It's called the Abode of Ignominy. Say that 5 times fast. I did a bit of research before I set out, but I didn't find much. A few cryptic references to a temple that collapsed into a sinkhole or some such. Well, when the name includes the word ignominy, it's a safe bet that it's nothing good. I found a reference or two to Mafala, the clan mother of dark secrets. Probably something to do with her. Ooh, gives me the shivers.
A land of fertile grand hills. But enough about past performances, yes?
No, Sugar Snout. My sweet boy. I don't... It's... You were so young. So young. I'm going to fix this, boy. I'm going to bring you back. I promise. No, Sugar Snout! Stop! You're killing him! I never intended... What did I do wrong? This isn't you, sweet boy! This isn't you! is a little unorthodox, but I just felt horrible about what happened. Bringing you back to life is an imperfect solution, I know, but I am confident you'll get used to this, new beginning. Sarir, no! Stop it this instant, please! I can fix this. I just need to paint a restraining word to... Stop! What are you doing, Sarir? No, 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 no! No, don't do that! Don't do... Ah, ah.
that I had any doubts, mind you. So, success? Did you find Marzula Joe's notes and memories? A Sench tiger? That's remarkable! If he managed that, the frog should present no challenge at all. Thank you so much, Walker. When I publish about this, I'll be sure to mention your contribution. I can't... I wonder how long after death you can perform these rituals. Do you think they would work on something smaller, like a mosquito? So many questions. Oh, let's not overreact. Advanced spellcraft is as much an art as it is a science. Sure, he may have encountered a few bumps along the way, but that's to be expected. I won't fall into the same trap.
Down. Stay low in the grass. We've got Ruddy Fangs up on the hillside, and probably more down on the other side. The Ruddy Fangs are the biggest bandit pride this side of the Scar, and probably south of the Scar, too. This bunch has been preying on refugees fleeing the dragons, as if they haven't lost enough. Shook me down, too. I'm not hiding, I'm waiting. Thought I might sneak into camp at an opportune moment and get back what's mine. But I've been out here for nearly a day now. You do that? It's a backpack, Imperial Legion make. It was my husband's. It's just some personal items. Things he had before there were damn dragons. Sorry, I'm tired and hungry. I should go. Find me at the inn north of here, towards Cyrodiil. It's a trade town close to the border. Pretty quiet. Or it was. I'm not sure anywhere is quiet anymore. A handful of gold. I don't care about that. I just want my husband's things. The dragons already took his life. I'll be damned if these thieving scum take his finally bringing my husband home. As much of him as there was. I had to travel all the way to Rimmen. That Tharn witch wouldn't even return his remains to the Legion. Queen? She brought him to Elsweyr. Led an army here to restore order for the Empire. She just wanted a kingdom of her own. He died protecting people who'd spit on his grave because of her, if he had one. I'll never forgive Euraxia Tharn. came. Did the Ruddy Fang still have my... This means a lot, really. I don't have much left to remember him by. The things in this pack and the condolences of the Legion paymaster every month when I collect his due. Take the gold. I don't need it. You've more than earned. I didn't really expect anyone to help a Legion widow out here. The Khajiit don't have much love for the Empire these days. Besides, they've got enough of their own problems. Dragons and usurpers and undead. This whole world's coming. I'm going to make a small memorial shrine over my hearth. If I still have a hearth. I won't know until there's a break in the fighting long enough that I can get home. I barely avoided a battle between the Dominion and the Covenant on the way here.
As they wax and wane, fill our bowls and fill our souls, sweet moon sugar cane, sweet moon sugar cane.
Are you here about this one, Cynthia? Has she been found? Yes, of course. Cynthia was taken in the dead of night. This one has received no ransom, yet he fears the worst. She is a very beautiful Jakajit, you see. Ishu believes that the captors may mean to sell her. Cynthia has a long, glossy coat, soft as the richest of silks. Her eyes are bright yellow, like the honeyed moons. Ah, and she always wears... No suspects, no, but someone who may have spotted something? There is a wood elf who tends to stay up well into the night, always singing and dancing, that one. If anyone saw something unusual the night Cynthia was taken, the wood elf's name is Mel? Yes, that's it. Mel the Musical, she always calls herself. You can usually find her toward the north end of town near the Sand Gardens. Ishu will pray for you to help find this one's darling Cynthia. Ishu will answer. Mel arrived in Riverhold a few seasons ago. Makes a living begging for gold as she sings and dances. She has woken up Ishu more than once banging that drum of hers. Still, we chat occasionally. She is kind, if not... Mel does not have a home in the traditional sense, so you will often find her sleeping in the stables and bathing in the public fountains. But who is Ishu to judge, eh? We all have our oddities. Cynthia is a willful child. A tad spoiled, this one admits. Ishu dotes on her. The town guard, they do not understand. They say, oh, perhaps she has wandered off. They say, perhaps she is lost. Such foolishness. How can they be so uncaring? Thank you, thank you. May bright moons light your path. Ishu will prepare a feast for Cynthia's return, yes? Perhaps some fish. Ah, yes, fish is her favorite. This one can already hear her content.
How may I?
Owl thief. This one keeps... What do you...
What do you know? A customer. Salutations. Mel the Musical at your service. Ishu, the Khajiit with all the cats? That old coot is sweet as honey jagger, but a bit off if you ask me. Shame about his daughter, though. No one should have to go through that. If you're looking for trouble, Tajiri's your girl. I've seen her with all sorts of indecent folk lately. Always shifty eyes on those ones, I tell you. She tends to spend a lot of time behind the stables lately, if you catch my drift. Very good, then. And hey, if you're looking for some entertainment for your next soiree, make sure to seek me out. You won't regret it. She's a gambler with a lot of friends in a lot of places. And you know, who am I to judge? Business is business, after all. But as of late, she just seems to be getting more and more suspicious. In fact, there's been a lot of that in Riverhold. Suspicious activity. People who I ain't ever seen before, going about town at all hours. I mean, I may stay up well past most people's bedtime, but I'm a musician, comes with the territory. And these new folks aren't bards, that's for sure.
Saw you heading this way. Find anything of interest? Oh, the stables, Developed a sudden interest in... Oh, looks to be a coat. A napping badger, eh? Sounds familiar. Ah, yes. The sleeping badger is a rock formation, just south of Riverhold. But this bit about the sweet trip, that Mizik doesn't understand. Mizik will mark it on your map, Walker. Feel free to lead the way. And perhaps this is a good time to mention that this one is not so skilled in violent situations, should trouble find us. But that is where your expertise comes in. Apologies. This one is fine. Skooma. These vagrants must be smugglers. Mizik is all right. Stop doing that. That necklace must belong to Zintia. Come, let us speak away from this place. A missing daughter? A missing daughter? A hidden note, and now a band of skooma smugglers. This investigation becomes messier with every step we take. This one is unsure, though it is possible Issue may be hiding something. Still, our priority should be to investigate the gambler who wrote that note. Tajiri was her name, yes? That does ring. If Tajiri is a gambler, it is likely we can find her at a local tavern. Mizik will head there at once and see what he can dig up.
I need to speak. Now! I must admit, you and Thunderboots make quite the charming pair. And watching you both play at being investigator, why, it's been sleek entertainment, truly. But now you tread upon sands that are best left undisturbed. Take it as a friendly warning. I hear that you seek Ishu's daughter, yes? I find that very funny. After all, everyone in Riverhold knows that she left town many years ago. Then Ishu has become senile in his old age. I speak truthfully. He had one daughter, and she is gone. Has been gone for many years. Tell this to your partner, and drop your investigation.
Music is the mother.
Bright moons look over us today, Walker. Tajiri has just settled down for a round of gambling. While music distracts her, you can sneak into her home and search for another clue. It's just a bit more... Forgive this one if he's skeptical. Even if this stranger spoke truly, why then would Ishu hire music? Why would Tajiri have written that note? Why would we find a gold necklace in the smuggler's camp? Then perhaps this stranger simply wishes to confuse us. Throw us off the scent. Besides, we cannot stop now. Not when an innocent young lady may still be at risk. Let us investigate Tajiri before she returns.
Tajiri, is that you? We need more growth.
This one hopes you have found something of interest, Walker. Mizik cannot afford to keep Tajiri distracted any longer. And he means that blue serpents? 4-pointed paint? If Mizik had to guess, this poem describes drop-off locations for illicit goods. Smugglers often hide them in plain sight. First a sleeping badger, now a blue serpent. Must represent another landmark. That's it! The river is often busy with trade. A perfect place to smuggle goods. Let us search along the river and see if we find any barrels or crates with markings. Hopefully we'll find something that will lead us to Zinthia. Mizik will admit this case is heading in a rather unexpected direction, which is a bit worrisome if he's being honest. It is strange, isn't it? With an operation as intricate as this, it seems odd that these smugglers would target a Khajiit of such limited wealth. This one agrees, but let us first check these smuggler caches. The note said that the goods were leaving town today, yes? That could include Zinthia. Mizik sees a painted mark ahead. Somerset wine, eh? Not illegal, but incredibly taxed. Mizik has a feeling this bottle didn't find its way to Riverhold through virtuous means. Oh, if that cheese... Could that be the painted mark we seek? A bit. Mizik is all right. A bit. Mizik needs to stop doing that. That painted mark seems curious, no? A very pretty scarf for smugglers to wear, yes? Perhaps it belongs to Zinthia. Oh dear. No! Apologies. This one is fine. Music is all right. That mark has 4 points, like the note says. This barrel smells sweet, but also rotten. What could it be? Dark moons. They're smuggling spoiled moon sugar. Very unsafe for anyone to eat. Speak to Issue and see what he knows of these smugglers. Then let us meet back at the tavern. We have much to discuss.
Yes, any news of this one, Cynthia? Smuggler camps? Dark moons? Yes, the necklace and scarf belong to Cynthia. Have the smugglers sold her? By Joan and Joe, please say it isn't so. No, of course not. Issue has only lived a good, honest life. Please, you must find this one's Jakajit. She is so young and innocent and probably terrified without her papa. Whatever will Issue do if his Cynthia is harmed? May bright moons watch over you. Oh, really? Well, Issue supposes his family has grown over the years. But how could this one not seek their companionship? Their little faces, their tiny paws. His darlings love him completely, demanding little but affection and food. And belly rubs. But of course, mostly. She and Medwick don't always get along, but Medwick is older and doesn't always like to play or be teased.
I warned you, thunder brutes. And so the other thorn in my paw arrives. I told you, did I not? First time was a warning. Now it is a threat. You both leave town. No more investigations. No more sticking your snouts where they don't belong. That again? I told you Issue's daughter left Riverhold years ago. He's just a delusional old Khajiit caught up in a fantasy. And for this you tried to ruin my little operation? Of all the things, who I am does not matter. What I can do to you, on the other hand, should be of immediate concern. You either leave Riverhold on your own, or you leave in pieces. Your choice.
So it appears that your strange friend is Rideza the rogue. Good to know. Let us just say that her reputation precedes her. Well, threats to our life aside, it seems that we finally have a perpetrator. Now we just need to follow her. We are investigators, are we not? You must search for a trail. With any luck, she'll lead you straight to Ishu's daughter. Meanwhile, Mizik will alert the proper authorities.
Those were fresh sugar claws! I can't even see who...
There! Rideza must have stepped on the jelly from the sugar claws. You must follow her trail while this one alerts the guards.
Ready of the road. Caught at last.
Did you find my daughter? Where is she?
Here! Your daughter is right here, you fool!
Rideza! You're the one who stole Cynthia?
Oh, this one's poor Jakashit.
Ha! Feeling a little jealous? To go so far as to steal your father's pet.
Well, it seems that our investigation has come to a successful close. Though not quite in a way that Mizik was expecting. In hindsight, it makes sense. When you were told that Ishu's daughter left town years ago, Rideza must have been speaking of herself. Still, to have been chasing Ishu's pet this whole time. This is true. Because of our dedication, Riverhold no longer has to deal with these vile smugglers. And let us hope it stays that way, yes? Mizik just needs to collect our reward. Why don't we... Drinks are on Mizik!
when the 16 kingdoms were only 16 tribes. A hero ambled forth, all tall and tough and wise. How sleek he is, how brave.
A family reunited, a smuggling ring destroyed, and the gratitude of all of Riverhold.
Not a bad start to a partnership, yes?
Mizik was even able to secure a hefty bonus, thanks to the general. Of course. Your share as promised. After all, Mizik would never have been able to solve this investigation without your aid. Pleasure working. A safe town, a happy client, and an investigation expertly solved. And a 5-claw partnership, if Mizik does say so himself. What more could this one ask for? After such a successful investigation, Mizik is hopeful that more clients will come forth. We live in turbulent times, Walker. Dragons, tyrants, necromancy. There is no end to Elsweyr's suffering as of late, and yet so much is overlooked. Those in power have priorities, and the petty problems of the common folk, they tend to be on the very bottom of this list. That is why we must look after each other. If Mizik does not offer his help, who will? Of course. But first and foremost, it is Mizik's passion. That is why this one takes the name Thunderboots. If he cannot work in the name of justice, then he will not work at all. This, he swears. Mizik's investigations take him many places, so it is hard to call one town home. But he's enjoyed his time in the Riverhold. He has a comfortable tavern room and a steady supply of clients. Well, a steadier supply of clients. Honestly? Just the one. A bard's flute was stolen while he was drinking in the tavern. He was very certain another musician had stolen it out of jealousy. Quickly, it turned out to be the innkeeper who stole the flute. This bard could not play in tune to save his life, and it was driving away business. So, Mizik suggested that the bard seek another tavern. A happy solution for everyone. uncanny. Look. Ah, hello there. Good to see you again, old chum. Have you come to pay your respects, too? It was the strangest thing. I dreamed I was looking at this very gravestone. So here I came, and there it is, all solid and important. I have no idea. I suppose it must be. I saw it in a dream, after all. Or was it a vision? I get those two confused. Anyway, I felt a sort of pull and stepped through a door, and then pish-posh, on as a bantam gua, and here I am. Tharn, you say, the grumpy battle mage. How is the old boy? The surges were probably just me. My portal took a few tries before we honed in on this exact location. Now, why don't you take a look at the gravestone and see what you make of it? Hmm? Well, it took a few tries to find the exact spot I saw in my dream. A number of frightfully rude lads and lasses occupied the first location I visited, demanded my surrender, if you can imagine such a thing. Naturally, I gave them the old heave-ho. Foul smelling, I'll have you know, that was my lunch. Can't believe I lost it. And if by bantam gua you mean my faithful steed, Honor, well, he's always getting into my foodstuffs. Has the appetite of a mammoth and the cunning of a fox, that one. Dispatch? Why would I do such a terrible thing? I adore those adorable pudge buckets. Alas, Grook was standing a little too close when I opened my portal. Poor thing fell in and took a nasty spill. When the neck bone snaps, it makes an awful sound. Were the words the same for you? Sometimes written language likes to confuse me. Words change and switch places. Very annoying. Anyway, the gravestone mentions the betrayer. Sounds like a dastardly chap. Wonder if I ever met him. I don't have the slightest idea. The words inscribed upon it conjure up all kinds of questions, though. Who is this betrayer? Whom did he betray? Why did they bury only his head? And where did they put the rest of the poor fellow? I don't have a clue. Dragons? I haven't battled a dragon since... You know, I can't remember, but I'm certain I fought one or two in my day. I was a gallant knight, after all. Of course I'll help. I'll just need to do a little more digging into this dream thing. Did you hear that, my trusty shovel? Dragons and mysterious graves. It's just like old times.
The dragon returns!
Get
Take
down.
cover!
I'll deal with this. Oh, now you show up. Left me to deal with a dragon all by myself. It's a good thing I'm Abner Tharn and not, well, some lesser mage. I discouraged it. But not before it laid waste to most of the camp. We arrived to find the outpost being overrun by undead. Then the dragon attacked. I did what I could. I fear it wasn't enough. What about the power surges? Did you learn anything? The betrayer. There's a betrayer mentioned in the legends of Kunzari. It seems those stories continue to harm me. No matter. We can deal with that later. Right now, I want to know about Cadwell. Has he agreed to lend us his support? That doesn't surprise me. Cadwell and Strange go together like hot bread and butter. I need to recover my strength. Driving off that dragon took a lot out of me. Why don't you go help Chimera while I keep watch in case the great beast... Kunzari, hero of the Merethic era. Most of the legends are unbelievable, though the Khajiiti moon singers guard the secret history. Their tales led me to the halls of Colossus. But let...
Damn us for arriving too late. I did not expect to find our militia under assault by a horde of undead. And then the dragon. Oh, it tangles the tail of Walker. The militia was already depleted from the fight to liberate Riverhold. But we were determined to press on toward Rimen. Between the undead and the dragon, though, we can barely hold this portion of the outpost. Retreat is not an option. Not yet. Our resistance to Euraxia's rule requires more than just soldiers. There are intelligence reports, safe house locations, lists of supporters, documents we cannot afford to lose. They are vital to our efforts to free Rimen from Euraxia's rule. And if her forces acquire them, those who help us will be exposed. Recover the documents from mail sacks in the camp.
If you're so fascinated by the dead, why don't you join them?
Yeah!
This one doesn't know you, but at least you aren't a walking corpse. This one must ask, why are you here? Bright moons! This one thought these were lost forever. You saved many lives at great risk to your own, Walker. You have Nalado's respect. This one will guard these documents. That was one of Euroxia, the usurper queen's pet necromancer. His undead devastated our troops, so this one took pleasure in ending his existence. Now, Nalado must return to Riverhold and consult with Garashri. We must find a way to go on. Euroxia's chief necromancer, Zumag Fum, has been with her for some time, but our intelligence suggests his followers have only recently rallied to her side. Find Abnortharn and Carmira. Tell them...
I've spotted dragons circling in the distance from time to time, but it doesn't look like the winged monster that attacked the camp will return today. Was your hunt successful? I must join them there. The Khajiit forces have been decimated by this attack. It will take every strategy I can devise to help Gareshri prevent the collapse of his militia. Yes, I read the reports. Zumog Foom and his necromancers working for my despicable half-sister. Such magic leaves behind a miasma of stench and decay. It leads to the mountains to the west, but I can't... Good idea. Dragons are bad enough, but undead tend to go on without end. Better to deal with them now, before Euroxia's power becomes more than we can contain. In such a direct manner? Yes, as far as we know. It could have been coincidence, but the attack felt designed to hit us when it would do the most damage. I wanted to send Chimera with you to find the source, but I have no idea where she's gone. Find the source of this army of undead, and if you see Chimera, send her back to Riverhold. She's as reckless as she is capable, which is a dangerous combination. I'll make my way back as well. After all, Gareshri would be lost without me. In case you haven't noticed, we two don't always see eye to eye. She can be impetuous and obstinate, truth be told. Chimera gathered a handful of soldiers and took off to the west. If you run into her...
You have some...
You have something to... Ha! Yes, and who am I? Savage beast, dog.
I did not expect to see you in this desolate place, Walker. Did Captain Nalado send you? Or have you come to join us as we hunt the dragon that killed? Then our missions coincide. We can work together to destroy the undead and slay the dragon. It will be glorious. When we finish with the hunting and the slaying, we can report our success to Lord Gareshri. The worthy life is full of risk, Walker. I assumed you knew that, given what you do. I will tell you a secret, though. Before my parents died, they gave me a pendant. As long as I wear it, Jode watches over me and... To Jode, yes, but also to my family and heritage. I suppose you could call it an heirloom. It helps me in my role as agent for Lord Gareshri, and that is all I will say about it. With me! Stay close. We will hunt these necromancers down and end this dragon. The path splits here. We will go right. Walker, you stay left. Moons guide us.
Feel the cold touch of lingering death!
necromancer!
No more excuses. No more delays. March to the head of Euraxia's forces. You dare challenge Mulamnir?
Dragonfire, move!
Little morsel. Mulamnir would talk to you. Mulamnir wanted to thank you, little morsel. Your actions helped set us free of our hated prison. Now, listen to the words I say. Mulamnir wants you to understand the challenge before you. Our puppet, Euraxia, commands a legion of soldiers, an army of necromancers, and a horde of undead. Add my dragon brothers, and the hopelessness of your cause becomes obvious. You and Abner Thorn set us free. You released us from the halls of Colossus. For that, I offer you this one last chance to survive. If you and the battle mage leave Elsweyr, my brothers and I will not hunt you down. Then you will die, but not before we slaughter your friends and set fire to Elsweyr. Once we reduce this land to so much ash, only then will I tear you apart. So promises Mulamnir, whose claws have... Leave Elsweyr, little morsel. Tell the battle mage, if I see you again, you will die.
Fiveclaw, are you all right? I heard what the dragon said. Perhaps my confidence was a bit misplaced. That creature was much bigger than it appeared when it flew over the camp. I never jump without first knowing where my feet will land. Also, I have very sharp claws. We lost so many today. The dragon, that Mulamnir, it has much to answer for. We defeated the necromancer and shut down one of their undead foundries. We need you and Tarn, despite my dislike of the man. But what the dragon intimated about Euraxia, it called her its puppet. I fear the dragons control the Rimmen throne now. Yes, you must do that. I will join you after I take care of the remains of my soldiers. They died bravely and deserve to receive the proper sacraments. Go to Riverhold. I will...
Ha! Come to your senses, eh? Don't worry, Sarazi won't tell anyone that you ran away. Predator Mesa is not for everyone. Now, watch a true hunter Wait, is that blood on your hands? Kra! I never should have given you that head start. Now what will Sarazi hunt? Birds and chipmunks? Well, a wager is a wager, yes? Here, spend it on some decent food, Walker. Bulging muscles and a shiny coat start at the dinner table.
there you are. If we've had this conversation already, then I wanted to thank you for the useful advice. But if I haven't seen you since our talk at that mysterious gravestone, which seems much more likely, then I could really... Did I mention the dreams? Visions, really? They come and go without warning, like seeing through someone else's eyes. Quite disconcerting in an interesting sort of way. Anyway, my trusty shovel and I, we searched that entire grave, and it was the betrayer's head. The dreams, the visions, they drew me there, but someone got to it before I did. I have the strangest sensation in the pit of my tummy. It could be the cobweb porridge I had for breakfast, or something bad is about to happen. Well, that's sort of like leaping from the cliffs of failure without a rope, or at least without tying the end off first. I can't tell you how many times I've made that mistake. Oh, Abner wants to see you. He's in the town.
At this point, we need to come up with a plan that takes into account Euraxians, necromancers, and dragons. I proposed a few options, but Gareshri wasn't sold on any of them. Tell me, what of Chimera? You paint a troubling picture, my friend. Still, we need to celebrate every victory we achieve. I fear such triumphs will be few and far between. Do you have anything else to report? My half-sister likes to think that she's in charge. She won't take kindly to being called a puppet. As for leaving Elsweyr, I think not. Obviously, this Mulamnir fears us. Otherwise, the dragon wouldn't have deigned to talk to you. Every conversation I have with Cadwell makes my head throb, but one mystery at a time, if you please. Now, if only I could get my half-sister to listen to reason and see that the dragons are using her. A parley? I may not like her, but we are family. Besides, it would give the Khajiit time to regroup. You're beginning to think like a Tharn, my friend. Here, take this. Gareshri gave it to me, but I refuse to accept payment for my... A parley with Euraxia is a capital idea. I'll send word to Rimmon to expect us. I imagine my half-sister will treat us as befits my station and agree to the meeting. Attend to any other matters if you must, then see me when you're ready to leave. It just so happens I already have one. It involves distracting my half-sister with wit, charm, and words she barely comprehends. Oh, and you. Euraxia never could resist a pretty face. You'll pretend to be my bodyguard. Consider it obfuscation to hide your true purpose. We don't want to give Euraxia a reason to react poorly to overtures of reconciliation. Not that I expect to reach an accord, but still. Meet me in Rimmon and we'll enter the palace. Go on, go on. I'm capable of traveling to Rimmon on my own. We'll meet up at the city gates and go to the palace from there. I'm relatively certain Euraxia will honor the parley, but be prepared for anything. We're not very close, in case I haven't made that abundantly clear. Euraxia is an accomplished mage in her own right. My younger sibling has always been ambitious, but I didn't realize the extent of her aspirations until the Frostfall coup. About 6 years ago or so, while Emperor Varen was busy with his rebellion, Euraxia took advantage of the confusion to lead a column of Nibonese mercenaries into northern Elsweyr. She declared herself Queen of Rimmon and its adjacent fiefs. Of course not. The Khajiit call her the Usurper Queen, remember? Once Varen became emperor, he had other problems to worry about. Same with Queen Irene. As long as the Alliance War occupies her forces, the Khajiit are on their own out here.